Executive Warriors. Today I'm going to show you how you can unleash your full brain's potential, your inner genius, so that you can have 100% of your brain to crush your goals today, not later. Hi, my name is Stephen Cole. I'm the head coach here at Executive Warrior Academy, where we help you work less and achieve more. Now, when it comes to boosting your brain so that you have full brain power, your full brain capacity to get things done, the number one mistake people think is all about just adding stuff to your life, adding stuff to your routine. For example, people will say, hey, you can eat more egg yolks. That will help you in terms of your brain because you have acetylcholine. You can potentially take a nootropic, right? You can take Adderall. Some people use Adderall. Some people use modafinil. There's a lot of things you can add. You can establish a new routine and add stuff you do every morning. You might do a cold shower. You might do things. But the problem with that is if you're adding all this to your day, what do you take out? You don't have infinite amount of time every day. You have a limited amount of food you can take. So if you're adding, and you don't take things out, then how are you going to fit it all in? What that means is you're also making your day more busy because you got all these things you're adding. What you need to think about is what you need to take out. And the analogy I like to use is, for example, if you've got a car and the fuel tank is full of bullet holes, you can add all the petrol you want. You can add all the things to help you increase your car's range and performance, bigger fuel tank. But guess what? The bullet holes in your fuel tank will mean all these fuel are getting leaked out bit by bit by bit. And it doesn't matter what you do. You will not reach your car's full performance potential if you don't address the holes. So sometimes you got to think also how you can stop this hole. How can you plug these holes that's leaking your brain energy? You can add stuff, that's all great, but you need to focus on what you can do to stop these parasites that's sucking your brain energy. These parasites that's making you less than optimal. And that's the number one mistake that people don't think about, is they only focus on adding. So today we're going to fix that because I'm going to give you 3 principles for which you can use to stop your brain energy leak. Principle number 1, reduce information. Now, if you don't know what information is, just think about the last time you were really, really sick. You're down with a cold, you're not feeling well. How clear is your brain? Not very clear, right? It's like you can't think of anything. Even if you try to take a day off and just watch on Netflix, you don't even want to watch anything. It just, your brain is such a state where you just don't feel like doing anything. You just want to rest. And that's by design because your body is fighting off something. And it says you are better off resting, not working, right? That's why information makes your brain want to go to rest. That is good when you're sick. But then if your brain is inflamed when you're trying to work, when you're not actually sick because of an allergy, because of a certain food that you're taking, then you're affecting your brain's cognition negatively. When your body is inflamed, your brain sends this protein molecule called cytokines. So cytokines are signaling molecules, and there's many, many different kinds. There's interleukin, there's interferons. I'm not going to go into all that mumbo-jumbo, sciencey stuff, but what you need to understand is these signaling molecules goes to your brain. They will cause you to make poor decisions. They will make you forgetful. They will make you tired. They will give you brain fog. They will give you, and over the long term, you can experience depression, anxiety, and ultimately Alzheimer's. And that is not good for high performance, right? So if you care about your brain's cognition, you want to unleash your inner genius, like that's why you're watching me today, you have to address information. What can you do to address information? Well, stop the stuff that create information. So certain things like soy, like dairy, like seed oils, soy oils, like certain milk proteins, like A1 proteins, there's a ton. You can go and Google YouTube, Google reducing inflammation, right? A lot of those are targeted for other health problems, but this is something that people don't talk about. Those things will also impact your brain cognition, your ability to remember, your ability to think clearly, your ability to focus, your ability to get things done is directly proportional to the amount of information you have in your brain. If your brain is clear of information, you will be able to tap more of your brain power. So that is key. Second principle, you have to make sure that you don't have glucose spikes that's going to interfere with your mood, interfere with your ability to focus. It's going to make you hangry. It could put you in big mood swings when you have big glucose spike and glucose dip. When you eat a sugary meal, like something that's very carb heavy, right? Just think about Thanksgiving meal. After Thanksgiving meal, there's a lot of desserts, there's a lot of food. You get into this almost like food coma. You just feel you can't concentrate. That's what happens when you have a glucose spike and a dip. When you have too much glucose in your blood, your body tries to protect itself by releasing massive amount of insulin. Now, there's multiple problems to that spike of glucose, but let's put that aside. That the long-term health consequences of glucose spike it's terrible. This increases chance of cancer, diabetes, depression, heart disease, stroke, everything you can think of that's bad, it contributes to. So that is important. But what I want to focus on is the dip, right? When you have a spike, your body tries to save itself and reduce the spike, and you overcompensate. The higher the spike, the more likely it's going to overcompensate, and that puts you in a low glucose dip. And that's where your cognition, your ability to focus is severely undermined. You'll be hungry, you'll be looking for food, you'll be angry, you'll be frustrated, you'll be anxious because your body is saying, oh my goodness, I don't have enough glucose to function. I need my sugar hit. And that is a problem. It puts you on a roller coaster. And when you're looking for that snack, you're not working. When you're hungry, angry, you're not in a good state to have good relationship. When you have this glucose dip, you feel tired, you feel depressed, you feel unmotivated until you get that next hit. Then you might go a little bit, but then it's just going to be this wave up and down all day long. And guess what? When that's happened, you're not effective. So if you care about unleashing your inner genius, you have to care about your glucose level. So what can you do? What can you do to make sure you have stable glucose level? So the traditional conventional wisdom is snack all the time, keep your glucose level even. That is, in my opinion, even worse. What I recommend instead is to make sure that you eat food that is low in carbohydrates, highly processed carbohydrates. Pasta, cake, bagels. If you can eliminate those things, it will make a big difference. Just try it. Don't believe what I say. Try it. And it will make a huge difference to the level of your blood sugar because your body is more than capable of making its own sugar when it's required. It really does not need carbohydrates. There is no such a thing as essential carbohydrates. Your body can make all the sugar, all the glucose it needs by itself. So don't need to add to that burden. You will have much, much more stable blood sugar by just simply taking out those highly processed carbohydrates. Just fill out with vegetables, healthy fat, healthy fiber, you'll be good to go. And you'll have much better brain power than having all these things that you don't need. The third principle for unleashing your inner genius is to actually master your emotions. So I'm talking about all the negative emotions, all the distractions, the frustration, the anxiety, that these things are things that you need to learn how to remove, how to become detached from these because they affect your ability to think clearly. Just think about the last time you had a big argument with someone important, someone you really care about. How well can you think? How well can you focus? You can't, right? Because that's all you think about. You think about what they said. You think about what you said. You think about all that conversation. How would you respond? Your mind become clouded with all this noise that is stopping you from being able to focusing and unleash the inner genius that's within you. How do you take away these negative emotions? This is where mindfulness come in. Most people, when I say mindfulness to them, they think, that's some yogi, woo-woo stuff, about humming 3 times and flow in the air of cosmic, unifying lovingness. No, that's got nothing to do with that. Mindfulness is used by some of the Silicon Valley's top executives to focus, to really get things done. It's their secret weapon that they don't really talk about. They talk about it, but a lot of people kind of put aside as not important. Mindfulness is a concept where you can look at the emotion without becoming the emotion. So you can see it, you feel it, you let it be there. There's no judgment for feeling emotion, but you let it be what it is, like a bubble. Eventually, all bubbles pop. Right? It's a brain training. It's a skill that you can master to observe what is going on inside you without judgment, without trying anything, but just watching it pop, 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 pop. Then you have clarity. And that is important for cognition, for you to have clear brain, clean focus without all this emotionally, getting in the way. It's important for you to be ultra productive, right? So investigate mindfulness. Now, there's a ton of places where they teach mindfulness that's maybe as part of their religious practice, like yogis, yoga studios do a lot of that. Buddhism do a lot of mindfulness training. But if you want a very secular approach to where you focus on mindfulness as a skill just to train your brain so that you can maximize your inner focus, you can maximize your productivity, I highly recommend looking into something like Search Inside Yourself. Search Inside Yourself is an actual 2-day training that was originally designed for Google executives to help them perform at their best. And if you can look into that, it's got tons of very practical, implementable practices that will make an immediate difference to your ability to manage emotions so that you can create clarity, you can go through these emotional roller coasters unscathed. You can make better quality decisions, you can make decisions with more insight, and you can become a better leader by stopping all this negative emotion and let it take you for the ride. You can master these emotions so it helps you rather than working against you. So there you go. 3 principles to help unleash your inner genius that nobody is talking about. Everybody wants you to buy their thing. They want you to buy their supplement, their food, their nootropic, all these things they're trying to sell you. But these 3 principles cost you nothing. Why? Because I want you to succeed. I want you to achieve your dream, reach your goal, because I know what it feels like to have brain fog, to have distraction, to have inability to leverage my brain and to spinning my wheel. It sucks. I don't want you to be there because no one told me this before, and that's why I'm sharing these 3 secrets with you, which cost you absolutely nothing. You can try today, reduce inflammation, reduce your glucose spike, and learn mindfulness to control master your emotions so it doesn't take you for a ride. These 3 things, if you do well, if you do on a regular basis, I guarantee you will be more productive. I hope you got something out of today's mini masterclass. And if you do have any questions, put it on comment. I will answer that personally. Until I see you next time, take care.